Okay. I spent 3 hours trying to talk directly to the camera to make this feel very official. And I can't do that. That's not going to be my vibe. So, let me just introduce myself. I'm Bethany. I'm a senior product designer. I have 7 years of experience in digital product, also known as user experience design. Some people might argue with me on that. For all intents and purposes right now, they're very similar. I am doing a master's in London. I'm graduating in 4 months, which means that I have to start applying to jobs very soon, which means that I need to rebuild my portfolio. I'm on summer break right now, which gives me like a month-ish to do this. The last time I rebuilt my portfolio was in 2018, and the UX field has changed pretty drastically since then. So right now it is August 2024. It's a weird time in the UX and tech industries. Tech feels like it's contracting after years of exponential expansion, a bubble, if you will. And the UX field has taken a pretty big hit in that contraction. There are far more candidates than there are jobs. The rule of thumb used to be like 3 months of job searching before finding employment, and right now it's taking over a year, maybe 2, for highly qualified designers to find their next job. So that's great. Personally, I'm in an interesting position in my career. I have years of end-to-end product work to document in case studies, and the challenge of how to format those case studies for this new kind of tech and hiring environment. I have been a hiring manager for intern to senior levels of product and marketing designers, so I've been on the other side of this process, and I know what it's like to dig through hundreds of portfolios for one job posting. So as designers, portfolios are the giant and existential mountain we have to climb to even begin to apply to jobs. That's a very special thing that sets us designers apart from other jobs. You just have to like update their resume and then start applying. We have to do a massive project before we can start the applying. So I'm trying to approach with excitement and curiosity. So I'm documenting this process because I hope it will be helpful for other designers who are also building their portfolios, and because I need something to keep me accountable in this kind of open month of summer break. So when I last built my portfolio, I made so many rookie mistakes. It took me 9 months. So I will note those mistakes as I go through and what I will do differently this time, so we can all learn together. To kick us off, I'm stating my goal. Build a portfolio that succinctly captures my previous work, my skills, my values and philosophies as a designer for 1, potential employers, and 2, the general public who wants to learn more about me and my work as a designer. It's mostly for 1 though, people who will pay me. So here are the steps that I will take. I'm going to research first. It's really tempting to just like pick a website, start building. That's what I did last time. Don't do that. Start with research. We're going to look at jobs that are posted right now that fit my criteria of what I want in a job. And I'm going to consider what do they want from a candidate. And I'm going to build an outline of things that I can kind of cater my new portfolio to what people are looking for generally. I'm also going to look at other people's portfolios. I'm not going to spend months and months doing this like I did last time. It's really easy to be like, I'm getting inspiration for my portfolio, and to do that forever. Yeah, don't do that. I'm going to time box that by like 2 hours. Content, I'm going to write my case studies first. I'm going to do that in a Google Doc. I'm going to create the narrative. I'm going to align that narrative to the previously researched criteria that I have found that people want in a candidate. And then I'm gonna eventually choose my platform for the website. It's gonna be Webflow. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be Webflow, but I'll talk through what other platforms you could use if you're not someone who's super comfortable with Webflow, because it does have a learning curve. And then I'm gonna design it, and then I'm gonna build it, and then I'm gonna get feedback from people, and then I'm gonna make edits, and then I'm gonna launch it. And I'm hoping to do that in the next 3 weeks. And I'm not really sure if that's realistic. Sky's the limit. Let's see. You're on this journey with me. You're keeping me accountable. Thanks for that. Yeah, so it's me. First research. All right, jobs. I looked at all the jobs available in the 2 places that I'm willing to live in 6 months, London and the North Carolina Triangle area. That's like Raleigh and Durham. That's where I'm from originally. And we're pulling 10 jobs that look interesting. And I'm evaluating what skills these job descriptions are asking for. We're noting common themes, generally what companies are asking of senior level product designers in 2024. I will note that what hiring managers are looking for will change from person to person, company to company, often in nonsensical and truly contradictory ways. But I cannot and you cannot possibly design a portfolio that will appeal to all hiring managers. So, with that caveat, here are the themes that I found. So this list, I'll use this to influence the narrative of my portfolio, which we'll tackle in the next section. And I'm also going to gear my resume towards these core points so that I have a cohesive narrative. A small note on product design titles. UX roles and labels are constantly evolving. In the mid to late 2010s, when I was getting started as a UX designer, there was a really big push for distinguishing between UX or interaction designer and then UI or visual designer. And those were different roles. And then the UX or the user researcher was also a different role. Bigger companies were able to have those separate roles and have that be a part of a larger design umbrella. This is still the case at some companies, but many companies have combined the role and expect robust UX, UI, and user research skills. A lot of people feel very strongly one way or the other on this. I agree that UX, UI, and user research are very different skills, and those who do all of them, including me, are very likely to be better at one skill over all of the others. Regardless of your opinion, this is what is expected of a lot of digital product design positions right now. So that is a reality that we are embracing. And looking at these descriptions, I also see some job postings that I do not want to cater to. For example, the term fast-paced, that is a red flag for me. I can work quickly. I am a very flexible designer, but a perpetually fast-paced work environment tend to lack healthy work boundaries and expectations that lead to burnout. Every job requires some rapid turnarounds and some condensed project timelines, but I will not willingly walk into a chronically fast-paced environment. Time to look inward. What am I good at specifically? So before I left my last job for grad school, I asked for feedback from my coworkers. The information they shared about my strengths and growing points is actually really helpful for me in creating a narrative about what I bring to the table professionally. I got feedback from developers, the marketing team, heads of engineering and product, fellow designers, and our C-level leaders. They were really generous in their feedback, so I have a good set of themes I will run with in developing a narrative in my portfolio. Okay, portfolios. We're going to look at what other people's portfolios look like. To do this, I literally just Googled digital product designer portfolios. I also looked at landbook.com, which is a really nice website generally to look at inspiration. And I searched LinkedIn for best UX design portfolios. I'm seeing very simple UIs, simple typography, simple colors, or very complex, colorful, bombastic design that feels very Gen Z. This is more for people, I think, in motion or UI design. Complex animations are fun, but they can be more distracting than helpful, and they often present an accessibility issue. And since accessibility is something that I'm really focusing on as a designer, I'm probably gonna keep it to really, really simple animations. But super impressive. Generally, there seems to be 4 to 6 case studies. Portfolios that have too much going on are difficult to comprehend quickly, that have too many projects. Please don't include every single project you've ever done. As a hiring manager, I don't want to dig through everything you've ever made. Just show me your best. Some of these are one-pagers with really limited case studies, which is an interesting way to approach it. They're showing what they need to show to get the interview, and then they can probably expand. Some of these have many pages, a full essay, case study. Case studies I'm looking at here that are strongest have like a summary, company, the role that you took in the project. Chances are there was a whole group that worked on it. It's best practice to say what you did, the process, and then the impact. And then sometimes the design category, so like app versus website design versus identity, and then sometimes the industry. which can be helpful if you're trying to show that you've worked across a wide range of industries. Okay, let's look at my current portfolio. I've gotten pretty good feedback on this portfolio over the years, though I could simplify the number and type of projects that I have. My case studies are long, like long. I wrote them back when the industry was just trying to emphasize what a UX process is. And I was trying to prove that I know it and that I can do it, and that I can follow it with appropriate thoroughness. That is now table stakes. That is the base expectation. Everyone knows what the UX process is. I don't need to articulate that. So my case studies will need to be more succinct and show what I did and how it made an impact, a business impact, a user impact, regardless of whether it followed the UX process to a T. UX process is still important, but the focus is more on what issues did I run into, how did I adapt, how did I work with development, how did we manage conflict, how did we measure performance after launch, in what ways did we mess up, what impact did the project have. We'll dig more into that in the next section though. So we have a good idea of what jobs are looking for, what other people are doing to get those jobs, the kind of narratives that people are telling about the work that they do, the kind of designer that they are. And now I need to figure out what I'm going to do in response to all of that. So next, content.